Modern liner shipping operates on an immense physical scale, moving thousands of containers across oceans with precision and speed. Yet for decades, the administrative process used to price the space on those ships lagged behind, relying on manual negotiation and disconnected systems. The legacy workflow was a linear chain. It began with a customer's rate request, moved through email or phone negotiations to a manual agreement, and required an operator to type that data into the system before a booking or invoice could be generated. These stages created significant bottlenecks. Communication loops were slow, data remained static, and manual entry made the entire pricing agreement vulnerable to human error. Modern digitization replaces this fragmented sequence with an interconnected digital architecture. This transition restructures liner freight pricing into a system that responds to real-time data rather than manual updates. This creates an integrated data pipeline where information flows without interruption from the initial quote to the final payment. To understand the impact, we can track a single set of data from the initial quotation through the back-end analytics engine, ending with automated execution and invoicing. In volatile markets, static pricing struggles to keep pace with shifting capacity. Without a digital system, carriers risk mismatched rates and unmanageable administrative backlogs. The pipeline begins at the point of contact between the shipping line and the customer, the digital portal. Digital portals replace unstructured emails with structured digital forms, capturing necessary data immediately. They define specific parameters: routes, cargo volumes, validity, and service conditions. Through this interactive platform, the line and customer negotiate by toggling variables, allowing rapid iterations on price. This accelerates the agreement phase, reducing a process that once took days to a matter of minutes. Standardizing this interaction ensures the agreement data is compatible with the carrier's internal systems, removing the need for manual correction or re-entry. By locking in these precise parameters at the start, the portal eliminates the initial friction that historically slowed down the booking process. Once the agreement is locked, the data moves from the front-end portal into the shipping line's back-end. This is centralized rate management. All agreed terms are stored in a unified system, serving as the carrier's single source of truth. Here, the total rate breaks down into core components: base freight rate, applicable surcharges, and origin or destination charges. An analytics engine calculates the specific base rate using real-time inputs. First, it analyzes available vessel capacity. Second, it reviews historical shipments and customer volume trends. Finally, it monitors market demand, using all three to determine a price reflecting current conditions. Pricing is no longer a matter of guesswork. It is an automated calculation that balances these complex operational constraints instantly. Legacy contracts relied on static rates, prices that remained unchanged even when market conditions shifted. This graph shows a static legacy rate failing to respond to the volatile market demand curve, but digital systems enable dynamic pricing. The new dynamic rate curve instantly adjusts its trajectory, tracking and responding to market demand movements in real time. While dynamic pricing manages short-term fluctuations, long-term agreements utilize index-linked pricing. These digital contracts peg the freight rate to recognized independent market indices. This allows the rate to adjust automatically, up or down, at predefined intervals based on the movement of the index. Because the adjustments are handled within the digital system, the contract remains current without requiring manual renegotiation between the parties. These mechanisms protect carrier yields while ensuring shippers receive fair market rates, all while removing the administrative burden of constant manual updates. After the final price is agreed and optimized, the digital pipeline moves from calculation to physical execution. The data flows through an unbroken chain, from the contract and quotation to the booking, rate application, and finally, invoicing. Because the rate is managed centrally, it applies to the booking and the invoice automatically, eliminating the need for human intervention. This automation provides a high level of transparency for both the carrier and the customer. Both parties view the same synchronized digital ledger, providing clear visibility of the agreed rates and all applicable charges. This shared visibility reduces manual errors and minimizes the frequency of invoice disputes, which were once a major administrative cost. The value of the digital pipeline lies in issuing an accurate invoice based directly on the parameters negotiated at the start of the process. Zooming out, we see the complete digital freight pipeline. On the front end, digital quotations and contract management ensure structured agreements. Centrally, data analytics and rate management keep pricing market-aligned. At the end, automation links booking and invoicing, applying the price correctly. This system provides the foundation for transparency, dynamic pricing, and index-linked pricing. This automated flow stands in sharp contrast to the manual email loops that previously defined agreements. The primary role of digitization in liner pricing is the creation of this seamless data flow. Building a system that is transparent, flexible to market conditions, and administratively efficient for both parties. By moving from manual processes to a digital pipeline, liner pricing becomes a strategic tool rather than an administrative burden.